what you need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to bring him in, y'all. Let's get ready to bring him in. My man Howie Bell is in the building. Howie, how you doing, sir?
What up, though? Frank, what's happening, man? How you feeling, good brother?
I'm doing all right. Let me also bring in the other comedian in the building, Damian Jones. How you doing, sir?
You know what time it is.
I don't wear my Patriots jersey, man, but I just knew somebody else was going to. And since somebody else got their Patriots jersey on, let me bring you white chocolate.
Listen, y'all missed Boston Straight Shooters last night. We were lit. Go Patriots, let's go.
I knew this was gonna happen. All right, so we got lots to talk about. We didn't do the show yesterday because we had to, obviously we had other things to do and everything else. There was a lot of NBA action that happened on the trade stuff. We're going to talk about that. But first, let's get ready to jump in. Let me put Howie up here first because Howie, you know how I always start. I always start with the biggest news that jumps off of the day right now, and it's always the top news in sports. Howie Bell, the top news in sports today. Jim Schwartz has resigned as the Cleveland Browns defensive coordinator that their team announced Friday after he missed out on his bid to be the head coach. To you, is this a fumble on their side, like the Cleveland Browns? Because they had a man in-house who got interviewed several times by a lot of different teams. And then he did not get a head coach interview with the team he was at. Disrespectful. I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Talk to me, Howie. Tell me what you thought.
I remember Jim Schwartz from his old days with the Detroit Lions. He was a pretty feisty guy. I think we liked him here. He just made a lot of mistakes as a head coach back then. I'm sure he's matured. He's been on other teams, a few other teams since I think 2. He was with Philly for a minute. Somewhere in Cleveland. So anyway, so I think he could have been a good head coach. They had a guy there that knew the system, that knew everything was going on, and he knows the culture. I'm shocked. So he left. He's like, yo, y'all don't respect me here. I'm gone. And so that's pretty much what that sounds like what happened. And he'll get another job. I'm sure he is. You know what I'm saying? He'll get another job somewhere. But yeah, Cleveland they're a hot mess. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they really want to win, to be honest with you. But people that want to win make moves that look like they want to win. Cleveland look like they just want to just be Cleveland and sell jerseys. You know what I'm saying? So for Shador. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Jim Schwartz was the best option, but he was a option that they didn't choose, and I think that he might have been one of the best options. But who am I?
Let me ask D Jones. D Jones. Disrespectful that Jim Schwartz did not get a head coaching offer. Was it disrespectful that he did not get even a look at, and his team needed a head coach? Was any kind of way of disrespect, or do you think just Jim Schwartz wanted to resign to get see different greener pastures? What's your take, D Jones?
Well, I think he's a great defensive coordinator, and to me, it don't seem like they fired him as the coordinator, even though they got a new coach. It seemed like they still wanted him to be.
They did. He resigned. They did. He resigned. Right.
So they didn't fire him. He resigned. They still wanted him in the building.
No, I'm not saying he was fired. I'm saying he resigned.
I know.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is it was on him to leave because he wanted to be the head coach. They said no. I heard a rumor. I don't know if San Francisco got a defensive coordinator now that my man gone, but I heard they was saying that he might go to San Francisco. If he do that, that's another great defense. But I mean, I don't know how good of a coach he is. He probably did feel disrespected, but look what that defense did, and having Myles Garrett will help be a great defensive coordinator.
Yeah. But I gotta say, D Jones, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, for Cleveland not to even interview him for a head coach position when they had a head coach open and everything else does seem kind of disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? I don't know, but that's
it is.
Like
it is.
It's like you work at a hotel and you work at the front desk, and front desk manager position comes open, but you're a front desk employee. You've been there long, and then they bring in somebody outside, and then now that person's head. You know what I mean? Front desk manager. You know what
that's
I mean?
Exactly what that is.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I look at it kind of crazy. Let me ask White Chocolate what he thinks. White Chocolate, what's your thoughts on this, bro?
They didn't want him as the coach, and they don't have to interview him. That's my take. And if he wants to resign, that's up to him. Look, he was a head coach, and we've talked about this on here. Some guys are meant to be coordinators. He's a really good defensive coordinator. He was good with Cleveland. He was good on Philly when they won the Super Bowl and beat the Patriots.
Philly, yeah.
And he'll be, if he goes to San Francisco, he'll be good there too. So he's better served as a defensive coordinator. Some guys are just not meant to be head coach material. He had a run, and it didn't go as well as he probably wanted it to. And the team is not obligated to
but White Chocolate,
just because he's in the building.
Hold on, I got to interrupt you. You're basically saying the reasons why I think it's disrespectful. He was on a Super Bowl team that won a Super Bowl. He was on another team that did very, very well. He didn't even get an interview. So what you're saying is too bad, so sad? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. They don't have to. Listen, this is what's wrong, and I'm getting off topic a little bit here, but I do not like the Rooney Rule. And the reason I don't like the Rooney Rule is because in some cases it's a sham. They just do it just to fill the requirement, and they don't actually mean to intend to hire these guys. And so I just think that the teams should hire whoever the hell they want. And you're going to tell me Sean McDermott's out there as a head coach and Jim Schwartz should get a job before him? I don't think so. So look, they picked who they wanted. The teams should be allowed to pick whoever they want. Now he can feel slighted and he can feel disrespected. I would too. I agree with what you said, Frank. You're not looking at it wrong where you say like, hey, you're doing a job and, you're the assistant manager and the manager leaves and you think you're going to get elevated and you get bypassed for somebody else. I get all of that. It's true. But the company or the team is not obligated to elevate you. I guess that's what I'm getting at. You are an employee at will. And so when you're an employee at will, they have all the cards and you don't.
Okay, but White Chocolate, you brought up several good points, several interesting points, and they were all different lanes. You know what I mean? Like you brought up different lanes. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to do is stay in the same lane. The lane I'm trying to stay into is this. It's a simple lane. If you work for somebody and you're working for this, I don't care if it's the Marriott Hotel. I don't care if you're working for, Boston Public School. I don't care what it is. Yeah, I don't care what it is. If you're working and you've been there, and then somebody brings in an outside source to be your boss, to me, that is not just a little bit of slight. That's a huge level of disrespect because they're saying that they don't even think that you're head coach worthy, because it'd be one thing if they interviewed him. They didn't even interview him. And this is why I think it's super disrespectful. And you made the point, White Chocolate. You made the point. Is he was a coordinator on a team that won the Super Bowl and got an upset in the Super Bowl. His defense beat the New England Patriots in an upset that was not even supposed to happen at that year when the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots. He didn't even get an interview. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I understand that. So let me give you a real life example. I'm a production planner. Okay. And there was a production planner job open, and I interviewed for it, and another girl interviewed. Now, key is I did get interviewed. I was lucky, but I was there longer than I was there longer than that person. Okay, and I knew all the ins and outs, and they bypassed me, and they chose her, and so my option was like, okay, I'm out of here. I left. Listen, I understand it's not the same because I got interviewed and he didn't get an interview. But your option as an individual is you can choose to leave, and that's what he did. That's what I'm getting at. You own you. You, sir, you do what's best for number one. That's what he did. Is it crazy that they didn't even interview him, being the Cleveland Browns, and they were a shit show? Yes.
Maybe I'm beating on this drum too much because I don't know. But
I get where you're coming from. From. He didn't even get interviewed. I get that. And Cleveland's a mess. So should they have? Maybe.
Bingo.
But it's their option not to. I guess what I'm getting at. They don't have to.
And I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying the level of disrespect as an NFL team and
that comes with that came with not doing it.
Right.
And I get like White Chocolate to me that obviously you felt the same way because you left. So I mean, man, it's like it's disrespectful. Even if interviewed or not, the thing is, man, come on, man. I'm here. I've been doing this. I know the system. At least give me a nod. You know what I'm saying, or a wink. Something, but they didn't give him anything about it. Hey, man, lost for Cleveland.
Right, and look how Steve felt some kind of way, and
Right.
he left, but he felt some kind of way, and he got the interview. You know what I
Right.
mean? Imagine
Right.
not. My point of is they're not even making this that big of a story. To me, it's a huge story because to me, it's a huge story because the man won a Super Bowl. It'd be one thing if you could say, "Hey, you're not head coach material, everything else," but the man won a Super Bowl. The man has been on several good teams, and you have one of the worst teams in the league, and you don't interview him. And the Rooney Rule is one thing because that's a whole different lane. But this man won a Super Bowl, and because he won a Super Bowl, he has more credibility than anybody on the staff, and he has more credibility than the head coach you just brought in.
But
I'm
people
like,
talk in the NFL, Frank, and we're not privy to those conversations. Maybe he's whatever, too gruff or too abrasive, or people don't like him and they think that he's not head coach material. It will shy them away from interviewing him. I guess that people put words out there that we don't know about, and I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just saying there's conversations that go on we don't know about, and I'm wondering if some people had conversation and said, "Hey, you don't really want this guy as the head coach."
All true.
Right.
But guess what?
So
If that man won a Super Bowl and you sitting there and you ain't won a Super Bowl, who should you listen to if you're the owner? You know what I mean? Like if you're the owner and you got 4 or 5 guys sitting here and one of them won a Super Bowl, and not only just won a Super Bowl, they won a Super Bowl in an upset fashion where they upset and beat one of the greatest, and some could say the GOAT in the NFL. Literally, that man won, and you ain't even paying attention to what this man says because he talks harshly or you don't like the way man. If that was me and I'm the owner, I'm like, you know what? He needs to run things. Just like I told you, Steve, when Jared Mayo was here at the New England Patriots, and I said this several times, he hired everybody on his staff that had no head coaching experience. That man was gone in a year. But when obviously Mike Vrabel comes in, Mike Vrabel hires everybody has head coach experience. Everybody, even down to the line coach. And what happens? Not only do the Patriots get to the Super Bowl, Mike Vrabel gets this Associate Press Coach of the Year, and his offensive coordinator gets Offensive Coordinator Coach of the Year. That's where I'm going with this, and that's why I'm shocked that Sports Center's not making a big deal of it. Like FS1 ain't making no big. Okay, yeah, it's a story, and they breezing by it, especially when you're looking at Cleveland. Cleveland sucks.
Let me ask you this: did any defensive players come out in support of Schwartz and say, "Hey, we think he could do the job"?
Myles Garrett did.
Myles Garrett did. Okay,
and
that's a guy I would listen to.
I was about to say one thing. They really didn't get enough chance to get around everybody because the NFL honors was happening and everything else. But once all it takes is one player, and he won Defensive Player of the Year. So if he comes out and says something for him, I guess it's all right. I'm gonna move on.
Frank. The reason I said that is because if Myles Garrett comes out and says, "Hey, I think Jim Schwartz would be a good coach for us," and you didn't listen to him, then shame on you.
I can't believe you've been talking about the Browns for 14 minutes.
I'm sorry. Let me move on. I'm a one.
I apologize. All right, I'm done.
It was the principle. You know how what movie was that? Well, it's the principle of the thing.
It's the principalities.
Yeah, the principality.
But how he said it's the Browns.
It's the Browns.
It might be the worst organization in football.
All right, let's move on because I did beat on it that too much, man. Let me go.
That was my fault.
Now, here's another thing that drove me crazy. I don't know if you all heard this story, Howie. Indiana quarterback just won. He just won the college, the college game of the year. He literally came out and said that he's going to be the first pick in the draft. He came out and said, "You know what? I'm not going to throw in the scouting combine. I'm going to, I'm going to help my wide receiver and stuff like that, but I'm not going to throw in the scouting combine. I'm just not going to do that." Howie, are you looking at that saying, who are you? What's your thought process of doing all that? Just talk to me about that. When you have a guy who won the Heisman Trophy, he obviously won college the college championship, and now he says he's not going to throw in the combine. Does that sound straight to you?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna tell you why. Traditionally, I would say he's wrong. Traditionally. But we're moving into different age, man, with sports and the way these young athletes are coming into this, and they understand the politics of this stuff now. They're a little smarter than athletes used to be. I'm not really mad at him because what's going to change? I don't think anything is going to change if he doesn't throw. So, you know what I'm saying? And he obviously, and his agents and whoever's around him understand that as well. So I ain't mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Without doing it. But like I said, traditionally, that wouldn't fly. Like, Tom Brady was doing non-traditional shit with working out with his receivers during times in the summer. We didn't have to, but that made him better. You know what I'm saying? So great players do great things, and they do things like Kobe Bryant used to. I know it's basketball, but he used to work out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the team and outside of the normal regime. So I don't know. And I'm not comparing this particular situation to that, but it's kind of a mirrored situation because what are you doing outside of just when you're shining or when you're in the spotlight? You still got to get that grit and that grind. You got to work. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to do things that you necessarily don't want to do that kind of keep you good and sound fundamentally. So hey, to me, that's a double-edged sword. I feel where he's coming from, but traditionally, I don't think he should have did.
D Jones, what's your take on that, bro?
Well, he don't have to throw. He know he gonna be the number one pick. Why am I out here throwing for y'all? And I know I'm the number one pick. Or maybe he's hoping somebody outshines him, and he don't have to go to the Raiders or the Jets. So he probably like, please, two people do great, so I don't have to go to the Raiders or the Jets. So, hey, I wouldn't want to throw either if that's where I'm going.
All right, but I don't know. I look at it different. Let me see what Steve says. Steve, what do you say? What say you?
I kind of get where he's coming from. I think what he might be worried about is if you're throwing to different receivers at the combine, and everything's scrutinized, it's televised, it's with a microscope. If he makes a few bad throws or misconnections, maybe he's afraid it'll hurt his stock and he won't be the number one pick. So he's opting for the pro day because he's familiar with everybody and he'll look better. That's what I think.
Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. Where is it? Howie Bell, you up next, man. We got to start talking about some of these things, especially the trades that happen in the NBA. And there was a trade today that went through, and I found it. I was awfully shocked. The Indiana Pacers acquired center Ivica Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, and 2 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick. The Clippers announced last night. The move gives Indiana a new starting center in Zubac, and of course, we all know he fills out the role that Miles Turner left when he left at signing off for the Milwaukee last year. But guess what? This now helps out, obviously, Indiana Pacers, which is right now, they're one of the worst in the NBA. But Zubac is going to be there next year, Howie Bell, when the shooter comes back. They're also going to get a number 1 pick in the draft. They're stacking, but nobody's paying attention to the Indiana Pacers for what they're doing for next season. That's my take. Howie Bell, what's yours?
I like that Zubac cat. You know what I'm saying? I think that does good. And the other player, there, Halliburton, right?
Yes.
He's coming back. When is he coming back?
Next year. He'll be back by September. Yeah.
There you go. To your point. So that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're preparing. Now on the other end, the Clippers, I don't know if they really got better. You know what I'm saying? From what they received. I don't even know them dudes who you just mentioned. To be honest, I'm sitting there trying to put their faces in the names with the face. I'm like, I'm struggling a little bit.
It's more about the picks, though, for them. It's more about
it's more about the pick. It's more about the pick.
Yeah. They're able to mix and match and move around some of those picks and everything. Because now James Harden's gone, but we're going to come to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more about the pick and probably trying to figure out what they're going to build as the build looks like, in the future. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
It seems like the Clippers trying to go back to their old ways. But listen, it's being losers. But listen, I just want to say that didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't know. I think that's that's good for for Indiana, man. Look like they prepping themselves up. You know what I'm saying, to get it together.
D Jones, what's your take on this? What the Clippers did, but everything else? Is it shocking? How, give me your your view from 3,000 feet.
I don't know what the Clippers doing. I like Zubac, and you said they traded. Was it Benedict Mathurin?
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Jackson, 2 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick.
Mathurin's a dog. Like, he's one of the reasons they got to the finals last year. That boy can play. The Clippers. Now they got 2 good guards. If Darius Garland come back and Mathurin, they don't have no size now. And Indiana needed a center because Miles Turner was trash. So they still upgraded a year later because I don't think Miles Turner was worth the money. That's why they ain't paying no money.
That's why they didn't offer him the money he wanted, right? That's what.
But I don't see Zubiak being the reason that when Halliburton come back, that Indiana's going to get back to the finals. I don't see that at all.
Well, I'll say this: Indiana's going to get Tyree Halliburton back. They got a much better center, and they're going to get one of these rookies who's coming out. And I told you all several times, the top 6 rookies coming out in the NBA are all going to be dogs in this league. They're going to be something that we're going to talk about. These guys, and also the NBA draft next year is going to be one of the best NBA drafts that we've seen in a long time. And I think it's going to be one of the best since the bronze class when all those cats came out. And I'm saying that on the record right now. Tell me what you think, White Chocolate. What you think?
Listen, both teams did what they felt was best for their teams. I think Indiana got better. I don't know a lot about Zerbiak, but the little reading I was able to do on him, he made all defensive team last year.
Yeah.
He makes $11 million less, so they're clearing out cap space for next year for when Halliburton comes back. And like you said, they'll get a draft pick in the top 6 or whatever, and maybe they'll be able to add somebody in free agency in the offseason. So that's a shrewd move for them. I did look at some websites that had the grades for both teams for the trade. They gave the Pacers a B and they gave the Clippers a B-. Trading Harden, he's an older guy. Getting Garland back, he's not as good, but he's 10 years younger, and so maybe he's got some upside there. So, listen, Indiana, pretty shrewd in my opinion. And the coach there, Rick Carlisle, he's a good coach, so watch out.
All right, Howie Bell. Speaking of other NBA trades, I want to talk about the James Harden trade in just a second. But my trade that I've looked at really intently was Jonathan Kuminga, because Jonathan Kuminga is one of the people who I thought was coming on the East. I thought he was going to go to Detroit, but Jonathan Kuminga ended up leaving the Golden State Warriors and got traded literally in a 3-player deal to Atlanta for Kristaps Porzingis. So now Kristaps Porzingis has now got back together with Al Horford. So now it's Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Draymond Green, who we thought was going to get traded, Stephen Curry, you know what I mean, and Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler's out for the year. Do you like the way Golden State Warriors are looking right now? What's your take on this, Howie?
If Porzingis don't have this illness that keeps him out, I think they're doing good because I like his game, but he don't play a lot. So I mean, so I don't know if that's the future is only going to be able to tell that. It looks like the move is good on paper, you know what I'm saying? But if the guy is sick and he's in and out and nobody knows what this disease is he's dealing with or, illness, it's still tricky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I don't really know what Golden State did there. Maybe they know something I don't know. But what they can't do is waste more years of Steph Curry. That's for damn sure. Because, you got arguably one of the best point guards in NBA history playing right now, and it's like his peak. Peak is coming down a little bit, but he's still kind of at his peak, So they got to do something. You know what I'm saying?
I think he's 37. I would trade him if that was me. I would trade him right now and fleece somebody. That's what I would do because honestly, your team is super old right now. Jimmy Butler's 37 old. You got Draymond Green getting old. You got all these guys old on the Golden State Warriors. Because Howie Bell right now on the floor, if Kristaps Porzingis is healthy, you got KP on the floor, Al Horford who be coming in and out, Draymond Green, Steph Curry. You know what I mean? You really got a great 4 out of 5 right now, but all these dudes are old.
Yeah. They're old, but they can still play. And, for I don't know for how much longer, but they got. I mean, Steph, he's still playing pretty good. You know what I'm saying at a high pace, so he's still up there. You know what I mean? So some of these other guys, Draymond might be losing a little bit, a little. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But, for the most part, man, if you trade Steph Curry, the whole team is blown up. You know what I'm saying? So
you have to do, but you'll be able to get a whole lot of draft. You'll be able to at least get 2 first-round draft picks for him and start again. That's what I would do.
And then what was the second part of your You said something else. You said who else got the other part of the deal, the trade?
I don't know what you're talking about. But
who did they trade with? Golden State with
Atlanta.
With Atlanta. And Atlanta got
Jonathan Kuminga. Atlanta got Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah. Now, that's pretty good for Atlanta.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. Yeah. That was a vertical move for them. You know what I'm saying? I think they got stronger. They got better with that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
Kuminga will have a chance to shine now. He'll have a chance to look good now. He'll have a chance to start. He'll have a chance to spread his wings because Atlanta they already lost Trey Young. You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
fluctuation there. He'll have time to start and he'll have time to show the NBA what he could do. So it works out for him. D Jones, like I said, you got KP, you got Al Horford, Draymond Green, Steph Curry right there. How that team look to you?
What's that movie with Martin and John Travolta and what's it called, like Old Dogs or something like that? They might all these cats is old, man. Like it's over for Golden State. They don't have no youth. It's a wrap. Draymond's cooked. He don't even play that much no more. Jimmy hurt. He give it his all every night, but he hurt. Porzingis is always hurt. And Steph, he's injury prone now too. I think Atlanta next season is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Yeah,
Atlanta got Alexander Walker, who's a beast.
Yeah.
Now they got Jalen Johnson, who's a beast. Buddy Hield, who can ball. Kuminga, and I thought Dyson Daniels should have been Defensive Player of the Year last year. Next year, Atlanta's going to be a problem.
Yeah, they will be. They're definitely going to be in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. But Steve, I got to say this. Golden State literally is doing, we know this well. Golden State is literally holding on to their players too long, like how the Boston Celtics did with the Larry Bird era, with the Robert Parrish and McHale. Remember that year they were no. When they should have traded away McHale earlier. They should have traded away. They should have made some huge trades instead of holding on to these. That's what I think Golden State's doing. What's your take, Steve?
They probably are doing that. And again, I've only been able to do a little bit of reading, but one of the writers I read said that Kuminga didn't fit the system the Golden State was running for 5 years. And so you ship him off and give him an opportunity somewhere else. And Golden State needs a big man. And unfortunately, they got a guy that's not healthy enough to really help him. And maybe they think he can come back later on in the year to help him and make a playoff push because Frank, like you said, they got all old guys, and this is like a last hurrah for them. If I was them, maybe not this year, but maybe in the offseason, they try to trade Curry and try to do something. I agree with you. Listen, they probably should have traded McHale and Parrish sooner, and I can tell you right now, Larry Bird would have been untouchable for me. Trading him would have been a sin, and they would have got killed. But, they hung on to them all too long. This is the same thing, and they're not going to be championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys with this thought, and this thought is crazy. They thought Jonathan Kuminga was not fitting in the system, but they re-signed him. Well, he was going back and forth, and they re-signed him to that new contract at the beginning of last year. So I guess they were a little bit worried that he's going to come back and torch him, and he's about to come back and torch him. So now Howie Bell, we got to talk about now Howie the trade that sent out James Harden from the Clippers, who was making a stink. Remember last time you weren't on that show. The last show we did, we were talking about James Harden making a stink on the Clippers, and now he ends up going to Cleveland, and they have one of the highest powered scoring backcourts in the league now, but also one of the worst defensive teams in the backcourts in the league, in my opinion. Do you like the James Harden deal, Howie Bell? James Harden now playing with Donovan Mitchell, or what's your thought process?
It's all right. I don't think nobody fears the beard anymore like that. You know what I'm saying? I think he could still score, but like you said, defensive wise, does he play defense at all?
No, not really.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he didn't help him out in that way. Yeah. He added some points too, but they can't beat. You know what I mean? Pretty much nobody else really the top teams in the East. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that was a good deal or not. You know what I'm saying? I think Harden is he just knows how to chase the bread. You know what I'm saying? And just knows how to wheel and deal in the game, to be honest. No pun intended. I just think he just knows how to do it. And he went to put himself in another position, make some more money, and he won't win a championship with Cleveland.
No, he won't.
No, he won't. So I don't know what he's talking about. I think he even made a statement like he feels like he can win a championship with them. Like, man, you lying, bro. You don't even believe that yourself. You know what I'm saying?
He really does believe it, though. I think he, but his problem is he's one of them dudes who can't judge talent. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys who can't take, he can't look from 3,000 feet. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I was him, I would have went to Houston or some team that has a really good shot that
Yeah.
really or maybe to the Knicks. If he goes to the Knicks makes the Knicks can go to the
If
finals.
he goes to the Knicks, that makes him better. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes them a lot better. They can get to the finals because they need scoring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so D Jones, do you like Jonathan Kuminga? It's Jonathan Kuminga. Do you like James Harden doing this deal? This is his 4th team in 5 years. You know what I mean? He bouncing around. Now he's on Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell. You like this? 2 ball hogs.
Yeah, but so when James Harden is on, he's 25 and 10 a night.
Yep.
But in the playoffs, he don't show up. But he don't have to be that guy with Cleveland. He going to be the 3rd option. So
he got to be the guy though, because Garland's gone. He got to be the guy. He got to be.
Yeah, but you still got Evan Mobley. He number 2.
Nah, I think Evan Mobley gets pushed down to number 3, and James Harden gets bumped up to 2. I think Donovan Mitchell's 1. I think Harden
got to be 2.
Yeah, he got to be 2. And Mobley's number 3.
One thing about, I will say this about James, he don't play no defense, but whatever big man he play with, he make their game better. Joel Embiid said, I won the MVP because of James Harden. So even if he is controlling the ball, Evan Mobley's game, I believe, is going to increase. The defense, yeah, they probably suck, and they got rid of Hunter, which I thought was a good player. They're not going to be an easy out. Not this year. I think they only won 1 game the last 2 years in the playoffs, but whoever they play, it's going to be a tough battle.
You're smoking, bro. It's going to be an easy out. You're smoking.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna get you wearing a. Yeah, you know why? You know why it's going to be funny? Because your team, the Detroit Pistons, is going to have them in the 1st round. I'm reminding you. They will. I'll remind you of what you said when it comes down to the playoffs.
And hey, you know it's even crazy. The Pistons lost to the Wizards. That fucked me up. I said, I've been talking so much shit about the Wizards. They beat us.
But they listen real quick. I went to watch the Wizards last year on March 13th, which is 3-1-3 day. Sold out crowd. Wizards whooped our ass. This year we had to go to double overtime to beat the Wizards. And then yesterday, they couldn't miss. They was throwing up shit they didn't think they was going to make.
Man, they was up by over 20 points at one time, 20-something points.
My man threw the ball, just didn't even look, and it went in.
We all know every now and then the sun shines on a dog's ass. That's
true.
That's what happens. It's going to happen. You know what I mean? Teams are going to come out. Like the other night when the Celtics beat Houston, D. Jones, like I thought the Celtics were going to get smoked by 25. They ended up beating Houston by 21. You know what I mean?
They did.
And
yeah.
I think Charlotte beat them or somebody.
Yeah, they did. You just don't know what's going to happen because on any given night, it's the stuff that can happen. Steve, you all right back there?
I need a drink.
You want to get a drink and when we come back to you, or you ready?
Let me just say something real quick about James Harden. That guy is such a malcontent. Like I said before, he should be a diva wide receiver in the NFL. He forces his way out everywhere he goes.
He does, man. He's like he's a diva.
He'll be fine in Cleveland for the end of the year. His contract's expiring, and they'll clear some cap space. Maybe that's part of the reason they wanted to make that move. But and you know what? He gives the Celtics fits, so I hate that part. But in the playoffs, he disappears, and he's 36 years old, and he's just a diva. He'll be somewhere else next year. He'll sign a 3 or 4 year contract. After year 1, he'll want to move out and go somewhere else. That's just the way he rolls. He'll be his career at the end will say that he played 20 years and he played for 30 teams. That's what I see from him.
And he was one of the highest paid NBA players to play the game, and he will be an NBA Hall of Fame. But he never won an NBA championship. That's what I was going to say.
He's going to be like he reminds me of John Starks.
He reminds me of Carmelo Anthony, bouncing around from team to team and scoring a lot of team, trying to go to teams to win. Like when Melo went down to Denver, thought he was going to win a chip because he hooked up with Allen Iverson and all that. But everybody's past their prime.
He had a better career than Carmelo, which is crazy.
Yeah, he did. But it's a lot. Him and he's very similar to Carmelo Anthony's up there. But anyway, let me talk about
his Hall of Fame plaque is going to say diva on it.
Let me throw the next one. The next one that had everybody talking is got to be the Dallas Mavericks trading Anthony Davis, Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Washington Wizards. literally for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malik Broham, Marvin Bagley III, and 2 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. So, how were you liking Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards, Howie Bell? How are you liking that?
The Ant-Man?
Ant-Man is now in DC.
Damn, I
Not
didn't
the
know that.
Ant-Man, not the Ant-Man.
Not the
You talking about
Ant-Man.
Mr. Glass.
Oh, you talking about the China cabinet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Ant-Man for a minute. Oh, you talking about the you talking about
cabinet.
the China cabinet. Hey, look, the popsicle stick. This dude is.
Be careful how you move that. Be careful how you move it.
Yeah. They sending everybody to the Wizards. That's right, because I saw that report the other day. They sending all of the Wizards. That's funny that they got Detroit's number. That's for fucking sure. But I don't know, man. You know, what does this do?
But Howie, you got Trae Young there with Anthony Davis. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, yeah, they might be able.
They can make a little noise though. They can do something.
Yeah, they definitely can get in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can do something. They can do something if he stays healthy. You know what I'm saying?
You keep saying it. If he stays healthy.
Yeah, if. That's a huge if too.
Yeah, because he won't stay healthy.
He won't.
He's been hurt every single season. Like
every single. Who's been hurt the most? Him or Joel Embiid?
You know what? That's a good question. White Chocolate looked that up. Why he look it up?
What is it?
Like who's missed the most playing time because of injuries? Joel Embiid or Davis? Anthony Davis.
Okay, hold on. Give me a minute.
Look it up. I'm gonna ask. Let me.
You guys are asking me to look for a needle in a haystack over here.
T. Jones, talk to me about this Anthony Davis trade. What's your thought about that?
Listen, after watching the Wizards last night, they got a nice team.
Right.
Like the center they got, the rookie from last year, he's a dog. He can shoot the 3. He's second in blocks. He a dog. If you add Anthony Davis to that and Trae Young with the shooting, Trae Young and Anthony Davis in the pick and roll is going to be phenomenal. So those 35 games they play together next year, they're going to be a force to reckon with.
You mean those 15 games they going to play? That's what you're talking about?
Combined, it's going to be 35.
Okay, all right.
It's fair.
So, but did you saw the game last night? Did Trae Young play last night?
No. He was there, but he didn't play.
Yeah, I saw the game. No, he didn't play.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me ask White Chocolate what his thought process is. Go ahead, White Chocolate. What's your thought process?
All right, let's get this out of the way. Anthony Davis has missed 230 games in his 13-year NBA career, which is about 26% of the games. Joel Embiid has missed 400 games in his career, which is 45 to 50% of all possible games.
Joel Embiid is just living high off the hog, baby.
And we call Anthony Davis Mr. Glass.
Man, I thought I got it. Yeah, he takes the cake. I'm calling the wrong man in China cabinet.
I gotta be honest with you. I think the Washington Wizards are just trying to get ticket sales up. That's it. Because the other teams, Dallas, that looks like a salary dump to get under the luxury tax. And listen, I was reading an article earlier. I didn't realize how many teams in these trades yesterday what they did is they tried to get under these aprons. The Celtics did, a bunch of other teams did. And so they go for it for a short period of time, and then they have to pay this penalty. And so at some point in year like 3 or whatever it is, there's all these aprons and there's rules and there's penalties. And so they have to at some point fix it and dump salaries. And to me, Washington probably didn't have very high salary issues, and other teams do. And so they were like, okay, we're just going to trade him to Washington, get that guy's salary off the books. That's
all right. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. All right. So now let me bring up the next hot topic that I wanted to make sure we covered, and this is one that I've saw a couple of times, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks have indicated to teams they're keeping Giannis, and we saw after the trade deadline last night, Howie Bell, the Milwaukee Bucks didn't trade Giannis. We all expected something to happen, but now this is what I think, Howie. I think Milwaukee wanted to see what people's offers were, and then wait to June, July, went to the offseason, and then say, okay, we saw what your offers were then. Now let's see what your offers are now. You know what I mean? I think that's what they're doing. But also, I think now also that they're trying to force Giannis to commit one way or the other because I think he was on the fence a lot. You know, yeah, I want to get traded. No, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I think that happened a lot. You know what I mean? What's your take on that, Howie? What you think?
Yeah, you know, the Bucks, man, they definitely playing chess. They trying to, they got people to open up. They got people to spill, what they wanted to do. So they pull back too. You know what I'm saying? So and I think they get a better deal out of them too, right? In the off season.
Out of well, the thing is, it depends on how to leverage.
Because they will have to, because teams would essentially have to come back to the table and do better than what they already offer, right?
Yeah, that's what you would hope. That's what you would think.
Yeah.
But as the time gets less and less, Milwaukee now will only get less and less because soon he could walk once his contract, he could be gone, and they get nothing for him. You know what I mean? Unless he re-ups. So it's a touchy situation. It's one of the things where I don't know which way it's going to go. If you asked me 2 days ago, I would have thought he'd been traded, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen, and I'm curious to find out how much leverage he's leveraging to Milwaukee. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know if he's strong arm in Milwaukee or not.
Is he trying to make Milwaukee bring his brother?
I think so. Sometimes I think so. But you never know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that could be a part of it too. You bring my brother here, please. That could be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No. That dude has how many games has he played? In active games has he played? 0 all across the board. So I mean, I don't know. He could be doing that. I don't know. Let me ask D Jones. D Jones, what's your thoughts on Giannis not being traded at all? What's your thoughts?
I think they're waiting for the offseason because, okay, you trade him this year, you're going to get some good players, but they're trying to tank. So why get some good players and win some games when we can lose and then next in the offseason, we can get some good picks or anything. You never know. So what's the rush? Y'all suck anyway.
Right. That's a great point. White Chocolate, what's your point? What's your thoughts?
Listen, there's all kinds of reports and speculation that he wants to leave. I was just reading something just now where he says, hey, all 4 of my kids have been born here in the last 5 years. My dad's buried here. My mom's house is 10 seconds away. Why would I want to leave? So is it smoke and mirrors and he's just throwing stuff out there? And, again, maybe the Bucks waited because in the offseason they'll get more in return if he comes back and plays. That's maybe who said they were playing chess. So they're playing chess, field in the office, see what they can get, and maybe they weren't happy with it, and they just said, okay. It's kind of like when you buy a car, and I'm in the process of doing that now. You go, you test drive it, you're like, okay, I kind of like the car, but if you have any apprehensions, you're like, nope, I'm going to hold off.
Mm-hmm. So here's the other one that kind of shocked me too, Howie Bell. John Morant is still on the roster for the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I mean? I mean, we've got a lot of other trades. There was a lot of trades that happened. There's a lot of movement happened. But I need to talk about some of the stuff that didn't happen because I thought John Morant was going to be traded. I thought he was going to be gone. And I'm shocked. So now Memphis is looking at right now, they're going to hold on to him at least until, the offseason. How are you feeling about this, Howie? What's your thoughts?
They playing the same game the Bucks playing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They want to see what more, maybe they're trying to see if they can get some more value out of, in the offseason. Maybe they're trying to, see if they can get, tank the season. Because I don't think they're doing very well either. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought he would be gone by now. I thought at least, at least meant shit. Maybe he should have went to the Wizards too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even being funny. Maybe they become a powerhouse. But I don't know, man. I thought he would be out of there by now. Obviously, they got other things in mind, but maybe they're doing, like I said, taking a play out of a page out of the Bucks book, man.
All right, let me see what D Jones thinks. What's your thoughts, D?
Man, I don't know who he gonna go to. Like, I really don't know a fit for him right now. I know we kept saying Miami, but I really don't know. And then again, what's the rush? We gonna get rid of him in the offseason. Mm-hmm. So they, like I said with the other team, they suck. We're like Milwaukee. So what we rushing for? We'll do what's best for both of us, or at least them.
All right, we're going to do our NFL picks in a hot second. Let's just finish this NBA talk up. White Chocolate, what's your thoughts on Ja Morant still staying with Memphis?
maybe some of the teams they were talking to were like, you want him to trade him here? He'll be in a jail cell in 2 minutes. We can't bail him out. Get out of here. maybe the teams that they were calling and talking to were like, no, we don't want to take the risk. Sorry.
It could be.
Yeah, he's too risky. Howie Bell, Cam Thomas, NBA, let's see, for Brooklyn Nets guard, Cam Thomas, he literally was released by the Brooklyn Nets. He's a free agent. Word is he's going to cheat 4 teams: the Knicks, the Pistons, Miami, or Memphis. Cam Thomas is a guard. He's a pretty good scorer.
He is. I know. Yeah. I know something. Yeah.
I know D. Jones is going to pick, because the Pistons need shooting. Where do you think he's going to go, Howie Bell?
I don't know, but I would like if he can help the Pistons. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Because I like him. I know that. I know what you're talking about. And I mean, but I don't know if he need another guard though. But I mean, I don't know. But hey, if Carlisle them boys see, hey, let's bring them in there. Let's do it.
Yeah, but you know what's gonna happen? The Lakers gonna probably snatch him up because the Lakers, they need shooting too. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah, they need shooting. D. Jones, we know you need shooting. Do you need another shooting guard? The Pistons, do you need another shooting guard? Because
we got 1,000 guards. We need
the guard is
Yeah, you have 1,000 guards, but all your guards can't shoot. That's the problem. You know what I mean? So
that's true. But the Pistons actually got a cat on the team that they don't give an opportunity to, and he instant offense. How Anthony Simons would come in for y'all and put up instant offense.
Mm-hmm.
We got a cat on the bench, Marcus Sasser, who can shoot, go to the rack. He's just not getting the opportunity. I like Cam. I would prefer to have traded for Michael Porter, but it didn't happen. And I don't really know what the Pistons are doing, man. I really don't know.
Okay, what's your thoughts, White Chocolate?
Hey, we just lost Simons. Sign him up. Celtics. Brad Stevens, get on the horn, bro. He only signed a 1-year deal for $6 million. What's he got left? $2 million left?
I didn't even think of that. I didn't think
about this. If he cleared out all that salary cap space yesterday with all those trades, Xavier Tillman and all those other bullshit, and all those bottom feeder guys, you just cleared off about $4 or $5 million. Hey, he's only owed probably whatever's the remaining games. I'd take a shot on him. Why not? Put him on the bench.
Howie Bell, we got out there in the world right now. You got Lonzo Ball, who's sitting around right now. You got Cam Thomas, who's sitting around because he got released. You got Chris Paul, who's sitting around, who got released. He got after they all got officially traded, and they all got released once they got traded. You know what I mean? Cam Thomas, Lonzo Ball,
Chris
Paul. Who do you like going where?
Shit, that's a hard one. Chris Paul might as well go home and go to bed, man. It's over for him. That's where he should go. You know what I'm saying? Let's start there. I mean, you talk about age. I don't think like we talked about on other shows, he's not very well liked guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't see him really going anywhere. I don't know nobody that could use him either. You know what I'm saying?
What you thought about Lonzo Ball?
Now, Ball got a good upside, too. I like him. I like that kid. You know what I'm saying? A team like that may be missing, you know what I'm saying, just an extra guy coming off the bench, that take them over the top. Maybe the Spurs. Maybe the Spurs need a guy like him. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of insurance on what they're doing.
He did play for the Spurs 2 seasons ago. He played for the Spurs.
Bring him back. They're doing that. They're doing that now. Bring him back.
And maybe possibly D. Jones. Who you like going where? Rich Paul. Chris Paul, Cam Thomas, obviously, and I just said his name. I just forgot. You got Cam Thomas, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball's out there now too. 6'5", shooting power forward, plays guard. You know what I mean? It's 33% shooter and everything. Not bad. Can you believe right now Lonzo Ball's not officially on a team? That's what I'm tripping about that part.
I see Lonzo either going to play with his brother, which I think it'd be sweet, just cause in Charlotte or Houston, because I don't know if they got a point guard over there.
He's too short.
He can come off the bench.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
He come off the bench, and then Cam probably either Houston or Detroit.
I'll say this for the record: if I'm Houston, I call Chris Paul. Come on back, bro. Like we got a whole bunch of people up here. You come off the bench and run that because when their second unit came out, Houston.
Yeah, but he ain't got it no more. He like how we said, he can go to bed, take a nap. He ain't got it no more.
Yeah, you don't have it,
I
man.
think he got a little smoke.
He did. He played better with San Antonio.
Yeah, he did. He played really good with San Antonio, but he didn't play that bad with Phoenix. He didn't play that bad with Houston. And as the last 3 or 4 years went on, he played on better team until this year when he went to the Clippers. Then they just cut him and he's gone. So I don't know. It's great. It's a thought. What's your thought, White Chocolate?
So you guys mentioned teams that need shooting help, and mentioned the Lakers. They actually traded for a shooting guard, Luke Kennard. So the Lakers are not going to be a fit there. But listen, any team that needs help that's on the cusp of making the playoffs, or they're in the playoff spot and they want to upgrade or improve their second unit and get some bench help, those GMs should be on the horn. I mean, that should be a no-brainer. That's why, listen, Brad Stevens, get on it, buddy. Pick somebody and get a little help where we lost. That's all. I mean, it could be the Celtics, it could be the Knicks, it could be, any of the top teams looking for teams that are not like Oklahoma City and like, Detroit don't really need, but other teams that are like fourth, fifth, they need an extra piece. Get them in.
Okay. All right. Now it's that time, Howie Bell, where we got to talk about our NFL picks. We got to talk about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl's, coming up this Sunday. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks and everything else. Give me your reasons why both teams could win and both teams could lose. So you tell me, okay, Seattle can win this game because of this, and Seattle could lose this game because of this. And New England can win this game because of this, and New England could lose this game because of this. Go, Howie Bell.
I think the Patriots could win this game if Drake May scores 3 touchdowns, whether it be with his legs or with his arm. If he gets 3, they can win this game with no picks. No picks. Mm-hmm. No picks and 3 touchdowns. I think he's going to run in for 2, though, honestly. But if he can run in for 2 and throw for a TD with no picks, I think they can win this game. They can win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They couldn't lose the Super Bowl if Drake May holds the ball too goddamn long. This defense is too fast and too good. He has to make split-second decisions. If he's going to run, he's going to take off and scramble, he has to make that decision very fast. Like, he can't wait. This is one of them situations where you got to just go. And if you get sacked, you get sacked, but you got to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit back there, hold that ball, and do like this. And once you do like this, it's a fumble. I'm telling you, man, that defense is too good. So if he holds the ball too long, they're going to lose. If he uses his feet the right way and scores 3 TDs, they're going to win. The Patriots. Now, as far as Seattle goes, I'm going to start with the way they lose. The way they're going to lose is if Sam Darnold gets too happy and throws a couple picks in his damn self. Mm. Then the Patriots can capitalize, and they can run. They can get on the board in a lot of different ways. You know what I'm saying? With the defense making the field short and all that kind of stuff. So the Seattle Seahawks can definitely lose if they turn the ball over one too many times. Actually, it only takes 1, but if they, it just depends. But they can win if their defense keeps up the type of job that I think they're going to do. I think that they can win the Super Bowl without a problem. I think if they get any more than 4 sacks on May, I think it's going to be a long damn day. And I think that I'm kind of predicting that to happen. My pick is going to be Seattle. I'm going to pick for them to win the Super Bowl. But okay. I believe this is going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be somewhere in the low 30s, both teams.
D. Jones, give me your reasons.
32-31 is my score.
Why New England can win, why New England can lose, Seattle can win, and Seattle can lose. Give me your reasons.
Why Seattle could win is if they get after Drake May and he fumbles the ball. Because he has a tendency to fumble. And if I think Kenneth Walker is the MVP. If they run the ball, because I think people underestimate our secondary. So if they give Kenneth Walker the ball and he's controlling the game, I think they can win. The reason they will lose is because I don't trust Sam Darnold. he's gonna throw 2 picks. He hasn't threw one yet in the
Playoffs.
But like I said, the Patriots secondary is phenomenal, man. They get turnovers. So I see him being the reason they lose. The reason the Patriots could lose, like I said, if they get to Drake May and he fumbles the ball. If they get to Drake May, we could lose. The reason they will win is because we're gonna get to Sam Darnold. He's gonna get sacked. We're gonna get 2 picks, and I think Drake May is gonna go heavy with Hunter Henry. Get the ball out of his hands quick, and they're gonna run the ball with Trevion and Stevenson. But I'm picking Patriots to win, and I think Hunter Henry gonna be a big reason why.
Okay, that's a good observation because the tight end group is pretty good. Steve, give me your reasons why both teams could win and both teams could lose.
Okay, I'll start with Seattle. Seattle can win if their defense obviously causes turnovers because their defense is really good. So if they get after the Patriots and they get after Drake May, they can't allow 5 sacks, number one, and no turnovers, no fumbles. Number two, if they stop the run and make the Patriots one-dimensional, that allows them to pin their ears back and come after Drake. So Patriots can't let that happen. And so my reasons for the Patriots winning is they have to run the ball effectively. That drive they had in the last game against Denver, that 9-minute drive, 8 yards here, 8 yards there, 5 here. But the Patriots need to be able to do that because if they become one-dimensional, it'll be a problem for them. And listen, I think Drake May just needs to take what the defense gives him. I know he's known for making the long bombs. They're gonna try some of them, but he's gonna have to go underneath. I agree with D. Jones. Hunter Henry's gonna be a factor. Diggs will be a factor underneath. Get these crossing routes, 8 yards, dink and dunk, just like they did in the old days. And I'm picking the Patriots 20-17. It's the same score when they beat the Rams. We got dynasty number 2 coming, Frank. That's my prediction on Boston straight shooters. So 20-17 Patriots. That's my pick.
All right,
and I also say that Travion Henderson will bust one for 60 yards. He's overdue.
I'm not going to make a prediction of what plays going to play, but I'll tell you Seattle can win because if Seattle's defense is able to get on the left-hand side, then they obviously will disrupt the Patriots and everything else. Seattle can lose because Sam Darnold isn't as great as everybody's making him out to be right now. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on that right now.
He's going to see ghosts again.
Let me finish. That's why Seattle can win, and that's why Seattle can lose. New England can lose if they get one-dimensional. New England can lose if they get too far behind. Because one thing that New England does, and they've been doing it all year, is they let a team go out and they always score first. That they've been doing it all year long, and they play catch up. I can't remember any games this year, maybe one.
You can't do that.
When they went out and they took the lead first, and then they might have did that once. But every single game this season, they will let the team. They did it against Denver. They did it against Houston. They keep doing that. If they do it against Seattle and they get too far behind, trying to play catch up, that now you got to throw the ball. You become one-dimensional.
That's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
But if both teams have to watch out for special teams.
Yes, and
they both are capable of running one back.
Guess who's better? Guess who's better in special teams? We are the Patriots. Yeah,
I think both return men for both teams are incredible.
Yeah,
but
Marcus Jones is that guy, man.
Yeah, but Marcus Jones is the best in the league, statistically speaking. Everybody knows it.
And I think he's a great defender, and they don't give him no props.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. All right, so we can maybe roll up out of here because it's Friday night. We're getting ready for the Super Bowl, even though it's a day and a half early. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get our chips and dip and stuff ready. Howie Bell, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey, Howie Bizzell on the gram, HOWIEBIZZELL, and I will be in Los Angeles, California for the pregame Super Bowl, man. This is what we're going to do. Y'all follow me, find all the information. I will be there. Pre-game comedy show, Super Bowl. I'll be in LA all next week. I'm doing a TV taping too. And then, hey, let's do it. I'm going to do the show from LA next week.
And we all going to be jealous. It's just like,
yeah, because we're sick of this damn cold.
Yeah,
snow.
Only that, I'm really jealous because NBA All-Star Week is happening in LA.
I hate it though because I'm leaving LA on Friday of the NBA weekend. I got to go to Chicago, but I'll be there throughout the week.
The things you, I can't even say it too loud. The things you
Yeah.
Look, I'm a whisperer. I'm gonna do it hands.
I already know. You ain't even gotta tell me.
You know how.
I know exactly.
I've been there twice, and I was glad I had my glasses on. I kept cleaning them off.
Yeah.
Like, this look really good out here.
Oh man, it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. D Jones, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
313 D Jones, and in 2 weeks on the 20th, I'll also be in sunny, warm Chicago at Riddles from the 20th to the 21st.
It ain't gonna be sunny and warm in Chicago.
Warm in Chicago is 20 with a wind chill of 0.
Yeah.
Right.
White Chocolate, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shoes on Facebook and YouTube. And listen, go Patriots. We all we need, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I hate when people do that because that kind of jinxes. I feel like a jinx comes.
Oh, stop.
I know. I feel that all the time. I'd be so nervous. I'm not even gonna wear my same shirt and everything. I'm gonna sit in my same spot.
And round of applause for Kid Rock doing the secondary halftime show. How about that?
Oh yeah.
The miscellaneous halftime show.
I gotta say, before I leave, I think that's gonna be one of the most watched halftime shows ever because they're appealing to the Spanish people, and the Spanish people never watch the Super Bowl. They can care about. They don't like that football. They like the other football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now
they like football. Yeah.
Now they tuning in just to watch, and then people Monday morning gonna be like, "Where all this viewership come from?" I don't know.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. He gonna have a hell of a week. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. We'll see you all Monday. The name of the show is called Box Seats, where we talk about sports with comedians. You all be safe this weekend out there. It's gonna be pretty cold too. So we'll see y'all Monday, 5 Eastern time. Thank y'all for watching.
Peace.
What you need, yeah, man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey, we about it,
Thanks, guys.